What is going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of Around the NFL. I got my awesome co-host here, AJ Turn Up of Bucs Report. We're going to get into it with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Baker Mayfield, Vita Vea, all the camp drama from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Also, we're going to also be talking about Kyler Murray and J.J. and what's going on over there. Big fights going on in training camp. The NFL season, AJ, is here. It's been a long summer. It's been actually a really good summer. But first and foremost, man, let everybody know, how are we doing, AJ? How is your summer going, brother?
Are going to go this season because it's going to be a make or break. So trying to give the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yep.
And that's all I've been doing, just trying to get people to understand how the way football is working, especially when it comes to the Bucs. We're literally in a situation where we will either stay competitive for years to come, or
Right.
we're going to be in rebuilding mode. So it's nothing in between. This is it. Bucs fans. This is whether if Bowles is going to rise to the occasion, and then if Baker is going to prove that he deserves the money. If not, let's just get ready for some long years to come.
You think so, huh? I mean, so, like, there's a lot of drama coming out of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers training camp this year. I mean, we all, as fans, went in there thinking this is all, like, sunshine and rainbows, because that's what we're used to with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers during training camp. We're expected to win. We're expected to compete. And every year we kind of fall short. There's always some type of drama, Is this the final year where, I mean, I do agree with you because, this is a make or break year for a lot of guys on this team, I believe. We have some contracts that are coming up. We have some guys that are looking for new contracts. We'll get into it with Baker Mayfield and his situation. I want to get your thoughts, and I'll share my thoughts about, I had an interesting post on the TikTok. Make sure you guys go follow me on TikTok, the Frozen Pirate Podcast. I'm on there. And so, you know what? Let's just kind of kick it off with Baker Mayfield. I kind of have a beef with Baker Mayfield, man. I'm not going to lie. And this is not me hating on Baker Mayfield. I don't hate Baker Mayfield. I love Baker Mayfield. He earned my respect the day he stepped on the football field for the first time against the Minnesota Vikings and said, "Get your weight up, little man." And the rest was history. But I have an issue right now with Baker because, AJ, he said he wanted to be all ball. If they could not get a deal done, AJ, he wants to be all ball during training camp. And, and I respect that because you want to win an NFC Championship. And I say NFC Championship because I've been hearing from a lot of people about division titles and da-da-da. Well, that's not good enough, unfortunately. For me, it's not good enough. I don't know about anybody else, but it's cool. We won the division. Then what? We get eliminated from the playoffs. And I get it. Baker was playing hurt. I made a comment about the whole Netflix documentary. And I said something along the lines of, I don't need to watch Netflix to know that Baker was hurt. I understand that. But my issue with Baker is not that I dislike him, not that I don't think he can lead this team, because believe it or not, and I'll say this, Baker can lead this team to a championship. But the problem that I see here is you said we were supposed to be all ball, and then the minute that you guys couldn't get a deal done, it was basically telling the media, I feel disrespected. That's what I have a problem with. I don't like how he says he feels disrespected because I don't think he's being disrespected. I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are trying to make the right financial decision. Does that make sense?
It makes sense.
It's a lot. I get it. I've been thinking a lot about this.
Yes, it makes sense on both sides, but for a guy of Baker's caliber, the results have spoken for themselves. The Bucs offense has gotten the Bucs to the past playoffs when Brady left, not
Right.
Todd Bowles. Here's another situation. Baker Mayfield has gotten 2 offensive coordinators head coaching gigs. No one was looking at Bowles when Arians stepped down. So that is why he feels disrespected. And again, for us Buck fans out there, you got to realize the Bucs don't have a great track record of drafting quarterbacks, and there's no one out there at this moment that I believe in. I'm sorry. I don't believe in Arch Manning. I don't believe in Moore. I don't believe
Yeah,
in any of these
I
quarterbacks
can't.
coming out.
Not to cut you off, AJ, but I agree. I can't sit here and think about. There's no way in hell a rookie quarterback's going to come out and win a Super Bowl his first year. You know, Jaden Daniels came close, but I'm not. I don't think that they need. I mean, there are quarterbacks out there. There are, but I mean, that's very rare. Very rare you get a Drake May. Very rare. You know what I'm saying? Where he takes you to a Super Bowl in his second year. Very rare you get a Jaden Daniels. Those guys, they don't stay healthy. That's a problem that Baker's having right now. He's not playing at 100%. He's playing all the games, AJ, but he's not playing 100%. I feel like that's kind of hurting us a little bit. And I get it. We don't have a backup quarterback. Teddy Bridgewater was not the answer. So I can understand why a guy like Baker would want to come in. He wants to win. But AJ, my problem with this is I don't know what the exact money was. From what I hear, it's $50 million per year, $100 million contract. I made these comments, AJ, about, there's people out here struggling. And it's true. And I get it. This has nothing to do with football. But at the end of the day, there's people that run inside buildings, burning buildings to save people that are not making that kind of money. Mm-hmm. There's people out there defending the country, not just here, but all over the place, man. Like people that go to war, soldiers, veterans, they're not making that kind of money. So to sit here and say you feel disrespected, I'm okay with that, but you got to keep that private. Knowing what this would do in training camp, I get it. He's trying to play with the chip on his shoulder, and I get it. But this is not the way you handle it. You get what I'm saying? And I feel like that kind of hurts the team a little bit. I get he's trying to get paid. So let's talk about that. He wants to get paid. Do you think the Buccaneers should break the bank for him? Do you think they should sign him to a long-term contract, or what's your take?
100%. There's no one else out there that's going to.
What would a contract look like from you? What do you want them to, like? What do you think is fair?
$55 million, 3 years, getting most of it guaranteed. I think he has earned that right. For the past 3 years, it's been Baker Mayfield, Jared Goff, and Matthew Stafford.
He's better than Goff.
Well, that's the point. And what is it that Goff and Stafford have in common? They have stability. They have two offensive-minded two better coaches. Dan Campbell, Sean McVay, they've had more balance with their team. Right. Out of all the quarterbacks, Joe Burrow and Baker Mayfield have never played with a top 10 defense. If you look at Baker Mayfield's statistics last year, they are very similar to Bo Nix. Now look at the difference. Bo Nix had Sean Payton. He also had a healthy offensive line and a top 10 defense. So we have to look at circumstances. A lot of times people think that an elite quarterback just does it on his own. This is not basketball, ladies and gentlemen. It takes a team. Now, what Baker has done far more with less. Evans was out 9 games last year. Godwin out 8 games. McMillan 13. Our entire starting offensive line didn't play. And when people people don't take that in consideration and truly think on it. They think of it as it's just an excuse, but last time I checked, Louis, everybody's injury is not the same level and impact. When Tristan Wirfs is out 5 games compared to like the Chicago Bears or the Commanders left tackle, it doesn't impact the same.
I mean, yeah, I agree with you. Tristan Wirfs is one of the most important pieces for the Tampa Bay. I'd say he's the best offensive player we got on offense, because I think an offensive line is one of the most important positions behind the quarterback. Agreed. If you don't have a good offensive line, you're fucked.
That's the problem, Louis. A lot of people don't take that in consideration. We didn't have our entire line all of last year, and then the narrative, if Joe Burrow would have done the same thing that Baker did, play through injuries, he would be considered a warrior. He would be considered he's tough, but when Baker did it, it's selfish. Has it ever occurred to people that Baker knew if he doesn't go out there and do it, this Bucs defense wasn't going to get it done?
No, and I agree with you there too. The defense played horrible down the stretch. But what I'm saying is, do you think $50 million guaranteed per year, 2 years, $100 million is enough for Baker Mayfield?
No, he wants to be here long term, 2 years, because look at it like this. Let's say, here's the funny thing. If you lock him down for 3 years, you're financially saving, because here's why. What if out of those 2 years, he performs at an elite level? Then he's going to want more money, and you're going to be right back into this situation. Or
hear me out, and this is where I'm at. Like, for the business-wise aspect of it, I don't blame what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are doing. AJ, at the end of the day, they're not trying to get fucked on an investment. Here's the thing. I hope Baker Mayfield, if he lights it up this year, AJ, he deserves a long-term contract. But here's the thing. If you want top-tier money, you got to play top tier. Not saying he hasn't. But here's the thing. I don't care about division titles anymore. That's a thing of the past. You have to win NFC Championship games. That's why I say this is what separates guys like Brock Purdy. I'm not saying Brock Purdy is better. I kind of put them, they're two different guys. A lot of people say Brock Purdy is a system quarterback. I understand that, but the kid's been in the Super Bowl and they've been in the NFC Championship game numerous of times. That's why he got his money. I feel like with Baker Mayfield, that has yet to happen. And I get it. We can blame injuries. But here's the thing. The Lions had a fuck ton of injuries on defense. Like, horrible. Like, I think it was some of the most in history. And they lose off the offensive coordinator, and they also lost their defensive coordinator. So that team this year was fucked for them. You take a look at, like the 49ers, they were plagued with injuries. They still made it farther than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in a much tougher division. They went, 12-6? So my thing, I think a problem with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last year was, coaching had something to do with it. I think players had something to do with it. I think the blame goes around. But I think from a business standpoint, I think what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are trying to do is they want to lock Baker up for that 2-year deal. Even if he doesn't sign this year, they can still franchise tag him for, I think, $45 million. Yeah, it's a huge dead cap hit. But you got to get something in return. If you can't just let him walk out the door. Like Vita Vea, we're going to get to him. Because I feel like we can talk about this Baker Mayfield shit for a whole show. Maybe we should. I don't know. But, with Baker, I think what's going to happen, me and you were talking about this before we came on. I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers want to do 2 years with him because I think they want to see how he plays this year. And the biggest key factor is you have a head coach on this team, AJ. He's playing for a job next year. Am I wrong? Is he not playing for a job?
Well, when it comes, this is my theory. I think Baker didn't get his money because the Glazers as a whole does not believe in this team. More importantly, they do not believe in Todd Bowles. I think at this point, they have run out of excuses for him. So this scenario is going to be the Glazers are going to play this out.
Okay.
If the Buccaneers go to shit early, then they're going to know their answer. They're going to clean house at the end of the season. Bowles will be gone. However, if this season is a success, but if it's the offense that's continuing to be the success, let's say if this offense is top 10, but the defense is somewhere between 17 to 21st, Bowles is gone regardless because Zach Robinson is going to be the one that takes the throne. So it's going to be that type of situation.
Wow.
So the Glazers are playing it out. That's why they know.
You think Zach Robinson has the capability of taking over this team?
100%. He's worked with Baker in the past. Throughout the practices, he's doing play action. He's doing rollouts. Everything that he said in the beginning when he got signed to the Bucs, that's what he was going to do. And I think the funny thing is when people doubt Baker was still top 10 last year, despite the Bucs being at their worst, top 10 in yards, tied 7 in touchdowns. With the healthy offensive line coming back, if anything, we should be expecting 2020.
Yeah, but I thought Baker. But the problem is, AJ, I feel like he played worse down the stretch when everybody got healthy. When the team, they've had their worst game.
The entire line wasn't healthy. That's another thing for people out there. Football 101, ladies and gentlemen. If you expect second and third string to be able to sustain and dominate your starting defensive line or starting defense, that's not how football works. There's a reason why we have our starters, our second, third string, and our practice squad. You cannot always assume the next man up is cool in theory and locker room encouragement, but in football reality, that's not how it works. Your starters are starters for a reason. If you think your backups can come in and replicate the starters, they wouldn't be there. So we got to look at it from that perspective. Down the stretch, the Bucs offensive line, it eventually collapsed because people could manhandle them. When you don't have your starting line there, there's no continuity. So that is why we got to be patient. Look at the 2024 season when the Bucs offense was third in in passing, fourth in rushing, and we were still 27th in pass defense, Louis. So, again, our best year, the defense held us back. If the defense was just average in 2024, the Bucs would have been a 12-win team. So, again, it goes, how is the defensive-minded coach? The defense is always the one that's the problem. Now, this year, Louis, he has a full stacked depth. So now,
he's got a good defense. There's no excuses, bro.
Yeah,
there's no fucking excuses.
If he screws up. If this defense isn't at least ranked 10th to 14th, he's failed.
Yeah,
miserably.
I wouldn't say miserably. I think I agree with you. I think it's a failure, unbeknownst to some crazy injury where we're like the Lions and they get depleted. But I mean, I agree with you. But again, I don't care about division titles. Our division is not very good. You know, and we have an uncertainty with the. I mean, let's fucking be realistic here, guys. We don't know what the Carolina Panthers are going to be like. Yeah, they beat us, but did they really beat us last year, or did the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have such a fucked up locker room?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Well, we were at our worst, and yet we still tied. That's why I think people got to realize for you Panthers, Saints, and Falcon fans, the Bucs were at their worst, especially Saints fans.
I still think the Saints, though, AJ. I still think the Saints.
The Saints are going to be butt.
You think so? They're gonna.
Absolutely.
You can say, you can cuss, man. It's all good.
They just booty sauce. Here's why.
Sauce.
After 8 fucking games, you don't know what Tyler Shuck is going to be like.
Yeah.
They just had a wide receiver retire on them. So you don't know what Jordan Tyson's going to be like. The man with suspect hammies. Chris Olave.
He just got an extension.
Good, but they're really playing with themselves when it comes to this all-pro shit. But if 1,163 yards and 9 touchdowns is all-pro for them, I don't know what to do. Then they owe Mike Evans an apology, because remember when Mike Evans was doing shit like that, and he was never considered a big-time star. So Saints fans, you lost to Mario Davis. You have no leader. Nobody's thinking about old-ass Cam Jordan. Nobody's thinking about inconsistent-ass Chase Young.
They're definitely rebuilding. They're definitely rebuilding, but I still think they can be a thorn in the side for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, just like the Atlanta Falcons. We don't know nothing about the Falcons. That's why it's the preseason, man. We got to see preseason games. We got to see preseason. We got to break down film. I know you're notorious for that. You back it up, man. But with Baker Mayfield, this is my whole point with Baker. I think the Buccaneers have the keys right now. I think they're in a good situation with what's going on. I just don't like the way Baker handled that. I don't think that was the right move. I think, me personally, I mean, I don't know how you would handle that, AJ, but if I was Baker Mayfield, and I love Baker, like I said, he's a man of God. I appreciate that. Like, I'm also someone who's finding my faith, and I love Baker. I think he's a great person. But the problem that I had was, again, there's people out here struggling, $50 million in the beautiful state of Florida to get paid to do something you love. But here's the thing. The problem with him wanting more money, I don't know what that is, that number that he's looking for, and I get it, he's looking for years. But here's the thing. The Cowboys signed Dak Prescott for, $60 million per year? That didn't work out. I just don't want to see the Bucs put themselves in a situation, because like I said, next year, if this shit does not work out, AJ, next year, the new quarterback the new coach that comes in, yeah, it may be the offensive coordinator that we have now, but what if the offense doesn't get their shit together? What if, Baker has a bad season? What if we're looking at this whole Jameis Winston scenario play out all over again, where, the new coaching staff comes in? Who's to say they are going to hire the offensive coordinator? I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of what ifs this year, but I will say this. There's a lot of talent, and I'm going to say something right now. There's a lot of opportunity for young men on this team to step up and become stars. And I always say, guys like Tez Johnson, I think they should focus on him more. I think he can contribute. I'm stumbling on my words. He can contribute and be a key asset to this team. Guys just need to stay healthy. And I'm going to say this. If Baker Mayfield balls out and we get to an NFC Championship game, by all means, AJ, that man deserves multiple years, because that's your guy. He's balling out. But the problem that I have right now with them not giving him what he wants right now is, for one, you said he was going to be all ball, and you made a big fucking fuss about this, and it kind of stirred shit up in camp. I understand that guys out there, they're fine with it. They're cool with it. I just don't think it was necessary. If it was me, AJ, I would have been like, hey, we couldn't get something done, but like I said, it's all ball. I'm looking forward to winning a Super Bowl here. I want to bring a Super Bowl. I want to work hard. Hey, if they call me and they have an offer, I'm gonna listen. Don't sit here and say, "Oh, I'm gonna shut that down." Because AJ, if somebody fucking offers you $60 million, you're not gonna take that offer because, hey, I'm shutting down. No, that's bullshit. It's bullshit.
Yeah, I look at it like this. Put it this way: all Baker was doing was being Baker. Because here's the thing: he's a man of action because he is keeping it all ball. He is in practice. Vita Vea is not. He's bullshitting. So
if they had to get rid of somebody right now, who would you rather see going?
Buy Vita, pack your shit. The most important position in the NFL is quarterback. And remember, Vita Vea got $71 million in 2022, which at that time was big time money. So at his position, he got the big dollars. Baker got 100. That's good, but we could say that Louis, about all these NFL players when they ask for that kind of money, because I made a video about a guy bitching about getting paid $5,000 a week in practice squad. So,
bro, you're getting paid to do something you love.
Yeah, that's a whole nother story. But for what Baker has been doing at his position, if it wasn't for Baker, put it this way: the Bucs have won without Vita. Yes, for Buck fans out there, if you don't remember, during our Super Bowl run in 2020, Vita Vea was gone after Week 4 against the Bears. He did not come back until the Packers, I think.
Okay.
So we could win without him.
Yeah. But I think he's a crucial piece to this team, though.
He can be, but he can be replaced. We just have to win with bodies. We're not saying that
I think
hurt.
AJ, him being in that rotation with what we have right now that defense, like I said, I'm not expecting anything huge from Ruben Bain Jr. right away. It takes time. Am I wrong? Like, to get acclimated to the NFL, everybody's fast, everybody's strong. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a different. I feel like I've never played such an important piece to that defense, because you keeping him fresh with the rotation that they're trying to do, man. Yeah. I'm telling you, guys like David Walker, Yaya Diaby, Muhammad, these guys are going to feast. You know what I'm saying? Ruben Bain Jr. is going to build some confidence. I think it's going to take about 6 weeks. That's why I say Vita.
Now, here's a flip side to that, Louis. If Bowles is such a great coach, if he relies on one player to define his entire defense, that's a problem.
Oh, I get
great
absolutely.
Coaches find a way. So the issue is people forgetting it's not the run defense that's in question. It's our pass rush.
Pass defense.
If the pass rush gets there, Louis, like we're praying, it won't matter, because that's another thing. Football is about matchups. Louis, we're not going to be playing every team with top 5 offensive.
How you feeling about our secondary now this year? You
feel I like the secondary. I
feel more confident?
I think Winfield is back. I like that we're going, and I like in practice from what I've been seeing that we're playing more man.
I like Tyke Smith, man. He's somebody that I'm really looking forward to on that team. Trotter, Josiah Trotter.
The Trotter is going to be a stud, but again,
I'd rotate him though. Rotate him.
Oh, we're gonna have to win with bodies. For Buck fans out there, we're not. If you think we're gonna have a JPP and Shaq Barrett, that's nice to hope for. But
may I say something about that? Can I say something about that?
Yep. The Eagles, Seahawks. We're in an era now. If you don't have a legendary defense, you got to win with rotation. The Bucs have rotation. That
Eagles
is what
did it.
Excites me, because you just now, even with Vita gone, K Park can come in for rotation, or Sean can come in for rotation.
Yeah, but you think K Park's going to be all right at this level? Like I said, I mean, he got picked 6 rounds. I mean, we have yet to see these guys play. Look. Here's the thing: we're very excited to see the Twitter videos, or X, whatever the fuck people calling it, TikTok. We see these highlights, but here's the problem, AJ. I've seen this story since I started watching this team.
Oh yeah.
Oh, like, remember when Vincent Jackson and Josh Freeman, Vincent Jackson first got here? We were supposed to be this powerhouse. We were good, but we weren't great. You know, that was Greg Schianara. I don't even want to get into that.
It just comes back to coaching. Zach Robinson is going to be a stud, because now he has a quarterback that does implement. again, the offense is going to be the hero early. Like you said before, Louis, the offense had to be the hero.
Yeah.
And like again, you're right. This year, it's going to have to be the hero early. The defense is going to have to catch up.
These are young guys, yeah, on defense.
But the way that the scheduling is, the defense actually has a moment, Louis, to prove themselves. The first 3 games, defense needs to go after. We played the Bengals, the Browns, then I think the Vikings. All those 3 games, the Bucs defensive line needs to go after the quarterback. Put
I think
Joe
that's
Burrow on his ass.
yeah. That's a good 3 weeks of testing right there for these guys, these young guys. I mean, it's not like you're coming out and playing, like the LA Rams right off the rip. That would have been a tough game because obviously they have a lot of hype behind them.
I'd rather get them early instead of the middle or the end.
To get a good look
see
at
where
them.
you're going.
Yeah,
I see
you know
where
what I'm
you're
saying? You don't want that. For me, I don't want that kind of test for my guys. I mean, it's okay maybe week 3, but for me, I want these guys to start off like the first 2 games, the Bengals and the Browns. I think the Buccaneers can go 2-0 in those 2 games easily. Easily.
The first 8 weeks, the minimum for me is 5-3.
I want with this whole Baker situation, right?
Right.
I want Baker to go on a fuck you tour. That's what I want. You remember when Tom Brady came back? They suspended him for the Super Bowl when he played for the Patriots, and they suspended him 4 games. And he came back and he went on the Tom Brady fuck you tour, and he won a Super Bowl. And Goodell had to hand him a trophy. That's what I want from Baker Mayfield this year. I want Baker Mayfield to go on a fuck you tour. I'm okay if he says fuck you to me. I'm okay. Prove me wrong. Prove me that you deserve these many years that you're worth that money. Because like I said, guys like Josh Allen have made it farther and had a better career than Baker. Lamar Jackson, he's one that I kind of wasn't a fan of, but I start to see like Lamar Jackson, like, wow, if you only put a top tier, what would Lamar Jackson look like if you gave him in a Mecca Ibuka or a Chris Godwin?
Hey, bro, the same thing can be applied to Baker. Give Baker a top 10 defense and let's see where he goes. Give him a top 10 defense.
No, I get it. This is why I'm saying there's a lot of proving now. Now it's put up or shut up for not just Baker, for everybody. And I like this. And I like this type of competition. I like it. Okay. But again, like I said, I seen something on the internet. I'll text it to you.
Sure.
I'm not going to pull it up because, like I said, it's a comparison of Baker and Tua since 2023. Passer rating is very identical. Completion percentage is identical. Tua has 37 interceptions. Baker has 36. Passing yards per game, 239. And for Tua, it's 241. And he's making $1.2 million. And he's a backup.
Well,
I think he had
a head case. No disrespect.
Ooh, damn.
I mean, if he gets hurt, he doesn't have the same health. I want to get this out the way really quick. Baker's been healthy for the past 2 years when he's with the Bucs. He just had a down year this year because the line went to shit. That's all.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. Like I said, I want Baker to ball out. It's just like I said, I think maybe he needs that spark. He has the offense to do it. But here's the thing, AJ. For me, it's NFC Championship game. If they don't make the NFC Championship game and they get eliminated wild card round, are you looking at Baker Mayfield a little bit differently?
It depends It depends. Let's say if the Bucs offense is 7th overall, but the defense is 19th. 9 times out of 10, our defense is the reason why we're not going to win.
But what if Baker Mayfield is throwing interceptions and turning over the football and putting the defense in bad field position?
It just depends because if his regular season is 4,300 yards, 42 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, I can live with that because all the elite quarterbacks who put up good numbers have double-digit interceptions. Sometimes I think we go to – the narratives are misdone for other quarterbacks because they say Baker's a turnover machine. Last time I checked, Josh Allen led the league in interceptions. I don't know if Baker has ever.
I think it's because Josh Allen has made it to the AFC Championship game numerous of times.
Yeah,
they came up short.
Can he finish? That's the problem.
He's got a lot less in Buffalo. He does. He's got a lot less in Buffalo to work with. They have a good defense.
Well, this year they were a top 10 defense and they had the lead rusher in Cook. So
and Josh Allen ran for how many touchdowns as a quarterback?
He has, but again, I need
11?
a quarterback to throw. I want my quarterback
of course.
to be able to throw.
But they were winning games though. That's the thing. They were still winning games.
But look at what Baker did the first. If Baker doesn't do what he did the first 6 weeks, the Bucs aren't even 8-9. They would be 2-15.
Oh yeah, but there was some close games there. There was some. special teams was a big problem. So that's why I'm not gonna hate on Baker like that. Special teams was a
You're right.
problem.
Special teams
But
is the reason why we lost that Eagles game.
yeah, but they brought in a special team specialist who I thought was amazing. That was a great hire. We'll get into him on another episode, like I said, because I'm sure we're gonna see something of him on the sidelines screaming or whatever. Because you know what I'm saying. The preseason's cool because we get to see some things. Is there anybody in particular for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this preseason that you're looking at in specific?
Yeah, I'm looking at Ted Hurst.
Ted Hurst. A lot of people looking at Ted Hurst.
I've already heard good news. James Yarko on Bucks Locked In has talked about him, but a 6'4" guy running a 4.42. Again,
he's faster than Mike. I'm not saying, guys. We're not saying he's gonna be better than Mike Evans. Listen, I hate that shit when they compare players. Oh, he reminds me of Mike. No, there's only one Mike Evans. We're looking for the new Ted Hurst. That's not fair to put that on him.
And again, you got to look at reality. A 6'4" guy, 4.42 in the red zone. If you run a spread, you got Godwin at the Y. You can put Hurst at the X. You can put Emeka at the Z. And now you gotta commit. You gotta double one or the other.
Don't forget about Tez too.
Over the middle, because Godwin could be a killer in the middle, which we always know Godwin is. Going to be like. So
who made him famous for that? Tom Brady.
Yep. Tom Brady. Again, ladies and gentlemen, the Bucks have a receiving depth that is going to be ridiculous. So I am looking for Hurst to be. I think Hurst can be between a 500 to 600 yard guy. But I do see him having between 5 to 7 touchdowns. And later on down the end of the season, I think he's going to develop, and it's going to be crucial. So I honestly think he's going to ball out either super early or he's going to ball out late.
I think it's good, too, because they can bring him in. He's fresh. You know what I'm saying? They have Tez Johnson.
Let the young guys. Yes. Let the young boys, him, McMillan, Tez.
That's another person that nobody's really talking about. Jalen McMillan is balling. He's a baller. Yeah,
he's got a little injury, but they're going to rest him. But the most important thing, you talked about it earlier, Louis, the line is healthy. Yep. Worse, they're sitting him out for precaution, but everyone else is healthy.
I'm not opposed to them doing that. I know some people, they get upset. Oh, they're not practicing. Dude, that's fine. These guys, see, what made Bruce Arians such a great coach? They give the guys like that a rest. When Tom Brady was here, when Gronk was here, when even Mike too, how many times did they have days off?
A bunch of days. And
they don't need to practice. Levante didn't need to practice. They knew the game. When you're in top tier talent like that,
you want those guys.
You want those guys in the film room to help come up game plan. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, let's sit out, work with the young guys. We see, at least I will say this about Vita. Vita's working with the guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I need him to be working in the actual grind in, because it's funny when you talk about Baker. I mean, Vita did it just in another way, going on.
Yeah, Baker's done it too. I see Baker. Baker doing this shit.
But Baker, I don't mind a quarterback speaking his mind, because, again, for all the things that he's done. But for Vita, you're at a position where he needs to be conditioned, because, God forbid, knock on wood, Vita, he gets hurt. He can forget getting that big check anyway.
Oh, God, yeah.
So he's going to have to – I want Vita here. I think Vita and Kancey together, if Vita and Kancey are together, Louis, that's why I think the Bucks early in the year, I have a theory that we're going to start out super hot, and because of the victories, Vita is going to find a way to stay, and then the Bucks are going to get a payment agreement for him. Or another thing that could happen, Louis, what if he does still ball out, but he still wants to get his bag, but the Bucks now could get a second out of him?
Yeah, we'll see, man. Look, AJ, I know you're gonna run. I know you said you got to get out of here. I appreciate you coming on the show as always, man. You guys got to follow him, AJ Turn Up, man, on TikTok, all the social media, man. You better come with your facts. I've been watching your TikToks, man, and you're not. I see what you're doing, and I appreciate what you're doing. I love what you're doing. Let everybody know where they can find you. This is your shot, your chance right now. Say what you want, man. Promote yourself. Let the people know where they can find you this season.
Bucks Report, The Aftermath. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Apple Music, and Spotify. Also for TikTok, AJ_turnup. If you go to my link, vote right now. I've been voted as one of the most popular Tampa Bay TikTok people. So check that in my profile, and please vote every day. So I appreciate y'all. Thank you for your support. Louis, always a pleasure, big dog.
Absolutely, man. It's always a pleasure. Let's go Bucks. I'll see you soon, brother.
You too, bro. Take care.
You too. AJ Turnup, everybody, make sure you guys go check him out. He is a beast. So now, yeah, like, you know, like I said, I don't hate Baker. It's just like I said, me personally, I don't like the way he went about it, but that's his business, man. I mean, like I said, I understand his situation. I get you want to get paid. I get you want the generational wealth, but my thing is, like I said, there's people out here struggling. You know, $50 million per year. I don't know what the contract is, man, but even what you're making now, it's good. They're obviously going to pay you. You just got to go to the NFC Championship game. All right, guys. We are going to shift. We'll talk a little bit about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but I also want to talk a little bit about Kyler Murray and the J.J. McCarthy situation with the Minnesota Vikings and them getting into a fight. We're going to talk. Obviously, we have to talk about the San Francisco 49ers in the substation. What the hell is going on? So without further ado, let me bring in this guy, Leo Haggerty of Amped Up Sports. Mr. Leo Haggerty, how are we doing here on this lovely, well, we're actually pre-recording this Thursday summer night. How are we doing, sir? Leo, can you hear me? Leo, go out and come back in. Gotta love StreamYard, guys. This is it. It does this sometimes. Very strange why StreamYard does that. So real quick, guys, I want to take this moment. Make sure if you're not subscribed to the Frozen Pirate Podcast, go to YouTube, get subscribed to the Frozen Pirate Podcast. We do the Buccaneers breakdown this Sunday around 7-ish, 8 o'clock. Me and my co-host, DJ UPS, your favorite DJ, will be on, and we're going to talk more about the Buccaneers training camp. That's this Sunday. Make sure you smash the like button. All right, here we go. Leo, can you hear me now?
What'd you say?
All right, there we go. This guy can hear me. So we were just talking about Baker briefly, the Vita Vea situation. Obviously, this is a mess. You know, this is training camp. But I kind of want to pivot from that, Leo, and I'll get your thoughts on that a little bit later on. But I kind of want to talk about the training camp situation. There's a lot of intensity in the air when training camp opens up, preferably a big fight here, Kyler Murray, J.J. McCarthy. Should you be concerned if you are the Minnesota Vikings head coach, GM, ownership? Are you concerned if you're seeing this, or do you encourage this? Do you like this?
You know what, Louis? Coaches will stand up there and tell you, they love competition at 21 positions. You don't want competition at quarterback. You want that guy to settle in. In fact, I asked Brian Hartline the first day of USF practice, I said, you know what? You talk about competition, but I don't care how bad Arch Manning plays down at Texas. He's lined up under center game one. Tom Brady, when he came here, I don't care how bad he played. I don't care if he was 42 years old. He's lined up under center. You want that guy. The faster they can decide on that out in Minnesota, the better they're going to be.
Yeah, I agree.
Because two quarterbacks mean you have no quarterback.
Yeah. I just thought it was crazy watching those two guys fight, Leo. See me, I'm kind of okay with that. That shows me that these guys are taking this seriously and somebody wants the job. You know what I'm saying? And a little competition like that, a little bit of animosity like that is okay during Trump. But I am going to say one thing. They got to nip that in the butt, and they have to have a sit down because come season time, let the best man win the position. Do you think they're going to cut one of these guys, whoever isn't the starter, or do you think they're going to keep both guys?
No,
they're going to keep them both, right?
Yeah, they're going to keep them both. Because to get a quarterback through 17 games is almost like,
Yeah, you need a solid backup.
It's hard for that to happen.
Yeah.
So, you got a guy on a rookie contract still. Now, if that was another veteran, you'd have a problem.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying they're going to get rid of both guys, Leo. I'm just saying, do you keep one guy and kind of cut the other guy? Because, like I said, they had a big fight. That's your quarterback room. Your backup. Something on the sidelines. He's supposed to, kind of like you saw with Blaine Gabbert and Tom Brady. If Blaine's seen something in the film, hey, Tom pulled him aside and they'd go through the iPad and stuff. But that's all I'm saying. Is this a bad sign of things to come with the Minnesota Vikings this year with them two fighting in training camp?
As a coach, we used to love to have fight in training camp because we know those guys are ready. If you go through 4, 5, 6 weeks and you don't have a little dust up, you got to wonder about your guys. Are you ready to go? So, we never got upset about that. Now we had a fight a day for 2 weeks. Yeah, that would kind of be a little bit, but yeah, guys competing.
Right.
You don't have to like the guy, but you got to respect him, and that's the thing. If it gets down to a point where they don't respect each other, now you better step in as a coach. But I don't have to like him because he's trying to take my job. He's trying to take meat and potatoes off my table.
That's right. That's right. And Kyler Murray's looking for a new job. I mean, not a new job. He's got the job now, but he's looking for a new place to start. It didn't end so well with the Arizona Cardinals. I think he feels like, he's losing some money because he went from that big contract. I mean, I'm sure he's got a plethora of money put away, I hope, because it seems like a lot of these players are complaining about financial stability. I'm hearing $100 million isn't enough. Leo, for me, $100 million is plenty.
Hitting the lottery
That's
for you
a lifestyle.
and me, right, Louis?
Yeah, exactly. That's a lifestyle problem. I mean, imagine right now. I heard Odell Beckham Jr. say something about it, and I'm hearing. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, even $5 million could change somebody's life. It's a lifestyle problem. I just hope, Leo, that Tampa gets all that stuff situated with. But the Minnesota Vikings, I feel like that problem over there. Like I said, I'm okay with guys fighting in camp. Who was notorious for that? Bill Belichick and Rodney Harrison. Remember when he brought in Rodney Harrison?
Harrison
was kicking the crap out of the offense. Stir things
I
up.
can guarantee you, though, Louis, that when practice was over, Kevin O'Connell called both of them into his office and say, "Okay, fellas, let's settle this mano on mano, because we can't have this happen again." Now,
right?
We don't even know. Sometimes these things are staged just to get a little bit of media coverage in that. We don't know.
Do you feel like Baker Mayfield kind of did that to get a little bit of an edge, just to see what people would say with those comments that he made? Or no?
I think he wanted to get ahead of the game and basically say, "Okay, I'm going to play. Period. We're not going to worry about contract. It's all about football." And that's what I heard. Disrespect and all that and everything. Whatever you want to say. You can't tell me you're disrespecting somebody paying him $35 million. I mean, that's just come on,
crazy.
Fellas. Come on.
That's crazy. $45 million he's making. That's not disrespect, especially I said in the beautiful state of Florida. I could do a lot with $45 million living over there.
I'd like to have what he pays in taxes. I mean, come on, I could live off of that. So
yeah, absolutely. Well, speaking,
he thinks he's being disrespected as a quarterback. He's not being disrespected as a person. I mean, come on, you're hitting the lottery every year. So
yeah, every game check you get, man, it's like hitting the lottery. It's like hitting on a scratch ticket every week. I mean, I'm not complaining.
And you know how you get paid in the NFL? 17 times a year.
Yeah.
They don't spread it out. It's after every game. So it's kind of crazy.
Now, speaking of crazy, Mike Evans and the 49ers, man, substation. A lot of people are putting a lot of hype into this thing with, a lot of 49er players are going down. Leo, let me hear your thoughts on this. Is this crazy? Or do you think there's some truth to this and they need to investigate this a little bit?
Until you come up with another explanation.
It's a lot of people. It's a lot of guys on the team getting hurt.
Yeah. And I think they need to bring somebody in to dispel this.
I think
or to come in and say, "Hey, there's a point to it. We need to do something about it."
I think they did. I think Jamie told me, because I don't know if Jamie's going to join us. Jamie was, because I was talking about this with Jamie. For those who don't know, he's one of the co-hosts here for Around the NFL. It's actually his son's birthday, his 5th birthday today, so happy birthday to him. But, I think he said something along the lines, they investigated it, they didn't find anything. Don't quote me on it. But I'm not buying it, man. If that's the truth, I think you need to bring in a different team because, like I said, there's a lot of injuries. But also, Leo, could this be, and maybe you have the answer to this, like the 49ers, the Lions had a lot of injuries. The Buccaneers suffered from injuries. A lot of teams got banged up. Do you think that maybe it's not the substation because we're seeing this with other teams as well? Do you think maybe it's because the NFL is not what it used to be? Like training camps back then, I feel like were a lot different than what training camps are today. There's a lot of restrictions. They don't allow, 2-a-days and stuff like that. Do you think this could be a cause of why multiple teams are getting hurt, multiple injuries like this and not practicing enough? Because
yeah, I think that's exactly what it is. You're only allowed, and I don't know if they changed this, but 20 padded practices. You can't get ready to play a football game for a full season. Your body has to get acclimated to football.
Right, yeah.
And the only way to get acclimated to it is to have some content. Now, I asked Antoine Winfield, I said, look, you got to go to war with these guys at the beginning of September. Is there a certain etiquette you play with? He said, oh, yeah, we got to. And I asked the same question to Brian Hardline. Now, Hardline had an interesting answer. He said, look, we got to get physical. Mm-hmm. I mean, the most physical team's going to win. But we got to control that physicality over a certain time period. So right now, he doesn't want that. But he wants to get ready because guess what their second game of the season is? They're going to have to go to Army. My God, you hate playing the service academies because win, lose, or draw, you're coming out beat up.
Yeah, they're going to
because that's just the way they play.
Yeah. I think so. Like I said, Leo, I don't think these guys are practicing enough. I think what's really screwing them is that we talked about this. We talk about this all the time. Thursday night game. That doesn't help anything. Here you go. I think we're gonna craft this up as we go through the season, Leo. I mean, here's an idea. How about you add more practices and get rid of Thursday night football games? Keep them, like I said. You want to do the Christmas special, perfect. You wanna have games on Thanksgiving, perfect. But make sure. I mean, I understand with the Lions, that's where the Lions bye week would be. But I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how to solve this. I just think that one time is okay. I don't know, Leo. I don't know how we solve this. I would like to see them get rid of Thursday night.
Louis, simple. The week before you play Thursday night is your bye week. You play on Sunday.
Yeah.
You got your bye week. You play on Thursday. So you got 10 days to get ready. Mm-hmm. Then you play the following Sunday. You got 9 days to prepare. This is not brain surgery. It's not rocket science. Sit down and figure it out. And I got to put this blame on the NFLPA.
Yeah.
Why are they not jumping up and screaming, here's the solution?
Right.
Why are we not doing it?
It's a good question, Leo. Why aren't they doing it? Especially now with training camp, we're seeing a lot of guys getting hurt, and it sucks. What are you looking forward to as far as this year in the for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Who's somebody that outside of like Ruben Bain Jr., who's somebody on the defense that you think that can make an impact for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? For me, it's going to be Tyke Smith. I think we're going to start to slowly see him. We're seeing this kid grow up with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I think he's going to take this this leadership role. Who do you see on that defense that can make that you feel like is going to make an impact just from being out there and watching the camps and stuff like that? Who's somebody people to look out for?
It's still underwear
football. It's still underwear football.
Yeah. Everybody talks about, money and Vita Vea and all that. Well, what Vita Vea does is he eats up 2 to 3 blockers.
Yeah.
And that just happens. Ruben Bain is going to salivate because he's going to get one-on-one on the edge. Now they're experimenting with him as the stand-up linebacker, which I'm hoping is just an experiment because I want that kid to put his hand in the dirt where he's comfortable. Anzalone coming in from the Lions. If he can pick up the system, I don't think you're going to see a whole lot of drop-off with Levante David not there.
Yeah, I think he's a good veteran presence there, and I think he's
a plug-and-play guy.
Yeah.
That's The key.
I feel like he's the perfect fit right now for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in this defense. If he can get the defense down, and especially with Josiah Trotter coming in, learning, like I'm telling you right now, I think like he's a great bridge player, and I think he's going to contribute. But for me, it's Tyke Smith. I think Tyke's gonna want to get paid, and I think Tyke's gonna really command this defense.
Yeah, and if you look at what's going on with the Buccaneers, it's all going to come down to, can you get a pass rush, and can the corners and the safeties stay healthy?
That's right. Because without a good rush.
Yeah. If a quarterback, and again, you can call this whatever you want to, Leo's number one axiom or postulate, whatever, but if a quarterback can throw it where he wants to, when he wants to, and to whom he wants to, he's going to win a lot of games. You got to disrupt that.
Absolutely, because like I said, you can't keep these guys, and I feel like this was a problem for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last year. Jamel Dean looks fantastic with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He looks really good. We're going to see what he does, but I think he's primed to have.
Yeah, because you got a Watt coming in on the edge.
Yeah, he's got a. That's what I'm saying. If the Buccaneers can execute this pass rush, because that's been a big problem, you cannot not have a pass rush and expect your corners to cover all day long. It's not going to happen. Someone's bound to get beat, and that's why you see a lot of these guys in this Todd Bowles scheme out of position. You know what I'm saying? They have to generate a pass rush, in my opinion. Offensive-wise, it's Tej Johnson. I think he's going to be like the Swiss Army knife for this Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense. I feel like if he can stay healthy with Ted Hurst and Jalen McMillan and Emeka Ibuka and Chris Godwin and the rest of the cast with Kate Otten and Payne Durham and the rest of the cast, I think that he can be a good playmaker. He can break a game open with his size, his speed. For me, it's him. What about for you?
I like Hurst. Gives him size. He's not the size of Evans, but he's close. So it gives him a red zone target.
Yeah.
I think the key is, can Chris Godwin get back to some semblance of what he was before he got hurt?
We talked about that.
I don't think you're going to see that again, because from what I've been told, this injury was devastating. And he's not going to get back to where he was. But if he can get back close to where he was, and you get improvement from Ibuka in his second year, I'll tell you what. And we haven't even talked about McMillan.
Yeah, a lot of people, nobody's really talking about McMillan. I think McMillan being hurt last year, I think really hurt this team.
Oh, God.
I think McMillan he's a strong number two. I think in the future, I don't know what's going to happen with Chris. I think, is this his final year with the Buccaneers? He's going to be up for a contract next year as well. Not next year, the following year, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, and he's got a big cap hit. They got to do something about that. He's got a pretty big cap hit right now. I like McMillan and Ibuka and Tej Johnson in the future, and also Ted Hurst. I think the Buccaneers in the future are going to have a very good young receiving core. But with Baker Mayfield, Leo, like I said, a lot of these guys want to get paid. And I say this, you want to get paid right now. Unfortunately, with the circumstances, it's probably not going to happen. You're going to have to play out your contract. But I will say this, Leo, if you want to get paid, we see this all the time. A lot of players get paid. A lot of average players get paid because they go to the Super Bowl and they ball out. We see it every year.
Then you got to overpay him to keep him.
Yeah. Mario Manningham. You remember that famous catch he made against the New England Patriots? He got paid. So this is what I'm going to say to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and everybody who's complaining about a contract. You want to get paid, go win a Super Bowl. Go to the NFC Championship this year. Go win a Super Bowl. I promise you, everybody who steps up will get paid. Maybe not by the Buccaneers, but if it's a contract that you're after, you'll get one. Let's take a little trip around the NFL, Leo. Is there anything else out there that you're kind of like, that's got you intrigued? Like I'm looking at the Patriots and seeing what they're doing. We're hearing rumors. Vita Vea, that's a possibility for him. So I'm paying attention to that. But is there any team out there where you're just kind of interested in right now?
You know what, Louis? When you look around the league and the disrespect that quarterbacks that won Super Bowls lately are getting, I mean, you look at these guys like Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, Sam Darnold. They won Super Bowls, and they're all rated behind these guys that haven't. And it's all about production, not potential.
Yes.
And when you look at what's going on in the NFL, who's producing? I mean, right now, do you want Josh Allen? Do you want Sam Darnold? Everybody's going to say, well, I want Josh Allen. No, I want the guy that's going to win.
Yeah, it's funny with Sam Darnold is before Baker got here, this is when I actually first started the Frozen Pirate podcast. And I was listening to DAE a lot, but I put out an episode, and this is when we were doing audio, and I promise, guys, we're going to get back to Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you guys listen to podcasts, you can take us to go. I'm going to get that done and situated with. But I remember I did I think it was my second episode, Jay, shout out to him. He was my co-host at the time. I said I wanted Sam Darnold. I said, the New York Jets were a bad place for him. That's where careers go to die. It used to be the Oakland Raiders and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but now it's the Jets. That's a curse in itself. And I believe T-Crass said he liked Sam Darnold. Obviously, the rest is history. We got Baker, and I love Baker. Sam Darnold won a championship. What's his cap hit? I think, what do they extend him or they franchise tagged him? I'm not up to date with the Seahawks. What's his situation?
Oh, he's under contract. Yeah.
Do we know
Absolutely.
what that number is?
Yeah, there's no problem with him right now. Nope.
Yeah. So if Baker Mayfield wants to get paid elite money, you got to play like an elite quarterback. Do you think Baker Mayfield is an elite quarterback? I have him in the top 15. Where do you see him? Where do you have him ranked right now? For me, because like I said, Leo, I say that because last year he started playing like an MVP candidate. And I told people to pump the brakes on that. I said, there's a lot of season left over. And when guys started coming back, he kind of went downhill a little bit,
he got hurt. And he got hurt.
Yeah. Things were bad. Where do you see, I guess, I don't know. I'm a little optimistic about the year with the Bucs. That's because there's too many pieces, like there's too many things going on. There's too much drama. I just hope that this team can kind of put it together and kind of forget about that. I want them to win a Super Bowl. That's the goal here. But like I said, in order to do that, it's tough to win Super Bowls with quarterbacks because, like I said, the quarterback eats up so much of the salary cap, Leo. Like the Dallas Cowboys, $60 million. How did that work out? It's still they have yet to win. They win divisions, cool. But I mean, how does that work out now? It's same thing with the Bucs. They win the division, and yes, do we have a coaching problem? I think it's a mixture of everybody. I think everybody needs to step up. But like I said, Baker Mayfield to me, and I defended him a while ago, and like I said, now that the years have gone by, he's not an elite quarterback. There's only one elite quarterback, and that's Mahomes right now. He's won multiple Super Bowls. He deserves that contract because he's. It's every year that the Chiefs are in the AFC Championship. Am I wrong? It's every year.
Yeah, last year, and he got hurt.
Yeah, and then you have your top tier quarterbacks. Baker to me right now is I would say he's like between 11 and 15. I say maybe 13, 12. That's where I have him ranked. Do you agree with that statement, or do you?
Well, I just don't know what they consider to be like. Do
you think he deserves top tier money right now? Do you think where do you think the Buccaneers should?
Well,
what's a good contract that you think they should?
Let me go through the entire scenario for you. I think the Bucs have got to look at this at a win-lose situation. Okay, you let him play out the contract. Okay. If they win the Super Bowl, it's going to cost you to keep them. Right. Okay?
What are the chances of them winning the Super Bowl, though?
Huh?
What are the chances of them winning the Super Bowl this year?
Slim and none, and Slim lives in San Antonio. I get that.
I like that. I'm going to use that. Thanks. I like that.
Yeah, but if they do, he's going to make money. If they don't, and here's where they got to look at it, you don't want to tie Baker Mayfield to a new coach. That's why I think they're going to let this play out, because it's not that they don't want to, but Let's say they win the division, win a home game, and lose in the second round. Do you keep Todd Bowles?
If the defense falls short, I mean, I don't know. That's a tough situation, Leo. That's why I don't get paid that money to make that decision. I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
but you got
think
the owner of a home playoff game. That's worth $100
That's
million.
right. Yeah.
That's
You're
worth
right.
$100
We
million.
talk about this. You keep your job if you get home playoff games.
And I brought this up the other day when I was talking to people. I said, who has more Super Bowl rings, Todd Bowles or Kyle Shanahan?
Todd Bowles.
Todd Bowles. He's got one.
Yep.
Shanahan cost the team 3. One in Atlanta and 2 in San Francisco.
28-3.
But for some reason he gets a pass. It's like Josh Allen. I think he's a great talent, but it's put up or shut up time here.
But the thing is with Josh, Leo, I feel like with Josh Allen, again, they're in the AFC Championship game competing. I mean, he's working with a lot less than Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield has an all-star cast, and I get guys were hurt, but I mean, I understand that. But I just feel like for me, with Baker Mayfield, I think the Buccaneers financially are making the smart move by offering him. I don't know what the truth is to it. What was it? $50 million per year, guaranteed. $100 million, 2 years guaranteed. Is that true, or is it?
No,
not even close.
I think they were talking, 50 million and guaranteeing like 40 of it, something like that. See, I think the money up front.
I think it's basically what he's making now, because he's making what, 40 or 45?
Yeah, a little bit more guaranteed money. But the bottom line is the Bucs can't afford to throw him in at 50 million because it's just going to cash trap. But what the Bucs can do, and believe me, don't be surprised if Jason Light doesn't throw this out on the table. You offer Baker Mayfield $60 million. You guarantee $40 million. Guaranteed. Whatever it is. That is going to definitely upset 31 other franchises. You know why? Because Lamar Jackson's going to come down the pike at the end of this year and say, I got to get $61 million.
Yeah.
And I know it's monopoly money if it's not guaranteed.
That number's out there. You know who screwed up this quarterback market? The day Deshaun Watson was traded to the Browns and they reworked the contract and they gave him that.
And it was not the number up front. It was that the whole thing was guaranteed.
Yeah.
That was
they messed up a lot of that. Again, they messed up, in my opinion, they messed up the whole market for all 31 other teams because it kind of threw everything into a frenzy.
And that's what the Bucs can do by offering Baker $60 million.
Yeah, I mean, I believe in earning your money. Like me, my whole point, because I had a post on TikTok, my post basically came down to it, and people were basically, saying, oh, you can't really compare your situation in real life. I understand that, but my job, if I feel like I deserve more money, I put in the time, I put in the work, I produce. I have to earn that money. Yeah, I have to earn that money. I can't just go into my job. I make a good living. I can't just say, hey, I'd like to get $2 more because, I'm Louis, and I work here and you saw what I can do. No, I'm going to go out of my way and I'm going to show you why. I'll have the conversation with you privately and say, hey, I was wondering if I can get a pay bump. I'm doing this, that, and the third. And my job performance and my production is going to speak for itself. I feel like it should be the same way for football. I think the day of these big contracts, I think they're absurd. I think a lot of these guys are making crazy amount of money. I said this, it's a lifestyle problem that a lot of these guys have, man. You go broke. But you're never going to win a Super Bowl with a $60, $70 million quarterback. It's very rare.
No.
Because they eat up way too much cap, and then you don't have depth when somebody goes down. Oh, well, so-and-so, take a look at the Dallas Cowboys. Well, so-and-so is a $60 million cap hit, and you can't really do much. You're strapped for that. That's why I think, Leo, the Buccaneers are making financially a right decision.
They got to. There's no way they can't.
Yeah, and like I said, who is to say if this season's a failure? And I get it, the offensive coordinator likes Baker and this and that. But here's the thing, Zach Robinson, his name, correct? Yeah, I don't know why I'm having a brain fart. But with Zach Robinson, what if this doesn't work out? And you have Baker Mayfield to a 3-4 year extension. And who is to say this other coaching staff's going to want him? You know what I'm saying? I think a 2-year deal is the smart thing. Let him ball out this year, like he said he's going to do. And if, God forbid, if anything happens, Todd Bowles gets fired, who are they going to bring in here? I'm not saying this is going to happen, but I wouldn't be surprised if I seen John Gruden come back in here to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and coach. He loves Baker Mayfield. I wouldn't be surprised. It would bring attendance to the stadium. It would. People would want to see it. I mean, I don't want to see it, but what I'm saying is, who is to say that they're not going to have another coach come in here and they're going to want Baker? Look what happened with Bruce Arians. Everybody thought when Bruce Arians, Jameis Winston's going to be untapped, and it didn't work out. And what did they do? They went behind door number 2. I think we're in a very similar situation, not a little bit worse because, like I said, they're strapped a little bit for cash with certain areas. Unfortunately, they got some not so great contracts. I feel like they were hanging on too much from the Super Bowl, keeping certain players. I get it. But this team's got to move in a different direction. The Super Bowl was years ago, Leo. And I feel like in order for this team to win the Super Bowl one more time within the next 5 years, Baker Mayfield's going to have to take $50 million a year or a little bit under that. You have to spread this money out. You have to get key players in here. I get it. He touches the ball all the time, but other guys have to catch the football. Other guys, you need depth. Like, you need to bring in pieces,
Well, and the fact that every quarterback, when they come up, thinks they're the next guy up in the next level. Somebody is going to have to stop it because it becomes unsustainable for the league. They got to do that.
I'm curious to see, like I said, this is a good opportunity for anybody in that quarterback room to step up. A lot of people are talking about Jalen Daniels. What have you seen from Jalen Daniels from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the quarterback there? Is he going to see some preseason time?
Oh, he's going to see some. Yeah. They got to decide who the backup is. Yeah, that's the biggest thing.
He brings some energy to camp. I seen a couple of
they got to decide who's number 2.
Yeah.
Because right now there is no plan B if Baker goes down. There is none.
And I feel like that they have to figure that out. That's a big problem. I believe J.P. Peterson brought that up, that they need a solid backup quarterback because, like I said, if there's a time that Baker goes down this year, because we know how he plays, his style of play, he likes to, tuck it and run to get the first down. I feel like maybe he came into a lot of those games because he had to. There was nobody else. Teddy Bridgewater.
Well, that's what happened in Cleveland.
Yeah, same thing happened.
A beat-up Baker Mayfield at 70% was still your best option.
Yeah.
And the problem was Cleveland didn't come out and say that, and he takes the brunt of this and the blame, and they decided, well, we got to let him go. Oh, that's your mistake. You forgot about the guy that got you to the playoffs, beat Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh, and came one play away from beating Kansas City. That guy's pretty darn good.
What do you think the toughest division in the AFC is this year so far? If you had to guess, like, what's a division that you think is going to be a tough one? For me, I think a tough division is going to be that AFC West. That's going to be a division to watch. You got the Chiefs, the Broncos, the Las Vegas Raiders, the Chargers. I'm curious to see the Broncos and Chiefs, man. Like that's starting to heat up. Bo Nix, can he put it together again? Another year? For me, it's the AFC West. What about you?
I'll tell you what. That AFC East is going to be a meat grinder.
Think so, huh? With the Jets, Patriots.
If the Patriots, now they're playing that number 1 schedule. They won't have any, weeks off. They're going to have to show up every week.
Oh, yeah.
And Buffalo's getting to a point now where, hey, that window's closing. They got to make it happen.
Yeah.
Miami's got a new coach. The Jets are not going to play as bad as they did last year. Think about this. They go through 17 games and not have an interception. That's phenomenal. But when you look at sheer top to bottom, that AFC West, that team that's in the bottom could be a team that's 7-9.
Oh, yeah.
Going into those last couple games.
Yeah.
I mean, I I like what's happening. And don't go to sleep on the AFC South. Houston, C.J. Stroud's got to make a statement.
Yeah.
Sean Steichen's got to win with the Colts.
Yeah.
And Liam Cohen has to prove he's not a one-trick pony. He's not Milli Vanilli.
Yeah,
he's got to. And the funny thing about the NFL is it's the most injury-effective league going.
Right.
I mean, one injury can throw you off completely.
Oh, throws it, like I said, if a star offensive lineman goes down, it throws your offense out of whack. You're not the same team, you know.
Louis, let me throw this out at you. Take away Baker. Who's the one guy on offense they can't afford to lose?
Tristan Wirfs.
Absolutely.
Tristan Wirfs. He's the best player on offense. I've said that last year, and I'll say it again this year. He is the best player on that Buccaneers offense. He's the most important part.
Well, yeah, he's the one you can't afford to lose.
Yeah.
How about on defense?
The most important piece you cannot afford to lose on defense. Honestly, this is not going to be popular, but I promise you guys, it's Vita Vea. To me, it's Vita.
Yep.
You can't lose him. He doesn't show up in the stat sheet, and I understand his frustration. He wants to get paid. It's his last contract, but that's another one too. Like, you got your money before. Like I said, I just want to see these guys play this year, and if they want to go somewhere else next year, Leo, let them go somewhere else next year. And obviously, and I think the Buccaneers will probably maybe be in a better situation. Maybe Todd Bowles keeps his job. Maybe not. Who knows? But you know what, Leo? I think it's time. I think we wrap this up because tomorrow I got to wake up early. I got a 1967 Cadillac Coupe de Ville I got to finish.
Oh,
yeah, you like that one?
I like that one. I got to be at USF practice too, so it's going to be a long day.
So USF this year, I'm actually going to pay a lot closer attention to their program. I'm curious to see who's coming up out of there. So it's nice to see them. Like the way the program has evolved and how it's coming up, and they're no joke anymore, and they're good football to watch, man.
Louis, 10 years ago, that's a vacant field. Now they got an indoor practice facility, and they're building the Taj Mahal right there next to it.
Oh yeah, I see. I've been seeing some stuff. It's good stuff that they're doing. Hopefully my nephew's watching this because he's going into his sophomore year of football. I've been telling him about USF, and that's a place that he should strive to go to. Because, like I said, it's the great state of Florida, sunshine and palm trees. Come on, Baker, just take the money, man.
Yeah,
it's all.
And
good.
by the time he gets to be a senior,
that place
USF is in the.
Yeah, digging.
There's 17 teams in the ACC. They need an even number.
Yeah, you're not lying, Leo. But yeah, like I said, I'm excited to work on the 67 tomorrow. I got to get it done, but it's just been so damn hot. I gotta sand it and paint it. And Leo, they don't. A lot of people out there, I don't know if people work on cars, but I'm gonna tell you something right now. They don't make cars like they used to make them back then. That 67 Coupe de Ville, it's a land yacht. It's I can't wait till it's finished.
Do they have chrome bumpers on that puppy?
Oh God, yeah, chrome bumpers. I got chrome headlights, that go around the headlights. I have little. Leo, for me, and I'm a Cadillac enthusiast. I love Cadillacs. I like the old school Cadillacs, preferably. I have my dream car, a 67 Coupe de Ville. It's what went into making that car. I feel like that's when America was America. With the car industry, like it's the little, and there's really nothing to it. Like you see these cars today, they're plastic. If I hit somebody with that 67 Coupe de Ville,
it's like hitting with a tank.
Oh God, yeah, that thing's a tank. And the thing that I love about that car, if you break down, all you need is some pliers, some rope, some duct tape. You can fix the car. They made engines very simple. It's got the 429 with the TH400 transmission, 3-speed. 360 horsepower for a 1967. But what I love the most about it, Leo, is I can go outside right now and after almost 60 years, 60 years, she still starts. That thing
First turn.
Hey, 2 pumps at the gas pedal to prime the carburetor, and she'll fire right up. And that's the beauty of it. And that's what I love. It's unfortunate we don't see many more of these cars because a lot of these cars, the technology in it is too much. It's destroying the cars, in my opinion. But I cannot wait to have that thing done. Put it this
Let me
way.
let me give you the historical background of why they don't use chrome anymore. You ready for this?
Let's go. Let's hear it.
There was only one place you could find chrome. You know where it was?
Where?
South Africa.
Uh-huh.
And all of a sudden, apartheid became an issue.
Huh?
And they started to ban trade with South Africa. So now Detroit has got to come up with a replacement for chrome because they can't get any.
Yeah,
And
because
guess
now
what
it's
they
all.
did?
What's that?
Here came the plastic.
Yeah. So that's the thing now with those new Cadillacs now and all that. And you started to see they started to veer away from that. I believe in the 70s, early 70s, mid 70s, it was basically gone. They're like, you
Yep.
weren't really getting that chrome anymore. But
Yep.
that car right there, like I said, it's got power locks, Leo, power windows. That's advanced for its time. Very
yes.
advanced. And like I said, you sit in the thing, it's beautiful. I redid the interior. I need a little bit of engine work. The transmission is going to get flushed out. And then I got to paint. And like I said, it's going to be a long day tomorrow, and I got some housework to do tomorrow. It's going to be a beautiful day. And then
Is
the
it
beach-
automatic or is it shift?
Automatic. So my plan, Leo, eventually, not right now, but over time, my plan, I'm going to enjoy the car now. And then when the engine fails, if it blows, I'm thinking about putting a Cummins engine, a diesel engine in it. And then I want to get a manual transmission to go with it. And I want a nice
3-speed or 4-speed?
I don't mind 3-speed because I'll cruise. 4-speed, you're asking for trouble with me. Because here's the problem. I wanna build that thing. Obviously, it's a lot of work, motor mount, welding new mounts and all that stuff. But I actually wanna, because there's no emissions, you can't do emissions on it. It's just safety stuff. I actually want to get a hood stack for the top of that engine so it can blow black soot. I mean, a lot of people don't like that, but I think it'd be pretty cool looking on a 1967 Cadillac that's satin black, chrome wheels, and slammed to the ground. That's, to me, that's when, like I said, if you had that Cadillac back in the day, Leo, you was somebody. That wasn't, I mean, it was what, $8,000 that car back in the 60s? Now that's more like what, an $80,000 car?
Oh my
with
God.
Inflation. So
Ridiculous.
that's why I'm saying, if you had a Cadillac back then, a Lincoln and all that, man, you was something. Leo, it's a pleasure as always having you on. We're going to be doing the Buccaneers Breakdown podcast this Sunday at 8 o'clock. Leo, let everybody know where they can find you and what you got going on at Amped Up
Well,
Sports.
you can find me on Facebook. I'm getting ready to put up one of my articles. We got through the SEC now, and now we're heading to the Big Ten for that. And we got some things happening. Keep an eye next week because there's some change in the wind, so to speak.
Beautiful, beautiful. Any plans for the weekend?
Bucks practice Sunday. They're off Saturday. No, just gonna hang out. I think maybe I'm gonna go down and join Peter Blake on Saturday at. He's doing a remote down at a pizza spot. So
Nice.
Well,
if you want, on Sunday, you want to hop on with us on the Buccaneers Breakdown podcast, I'll send you the
8
link.
p.m.
Yeah, we're gonna start like around 7:45ish, 8 p.m. And like I said, I can send you the link if you want to join us there and tell us what you see.
Let me check my busy schedule and I'll get back to you.
All right, absolutely. The great Leo Haggerty.
All right, hey,
everybody.
enjoy the car tomorrow.
Oh, it's not going to be enjoyable, I promise you. It's a lot of hard work, but it's worth it.
I
Have a
hear
good
you.
one, Leo.
You too, buddy. Take care.
You too, Leo. Leo Haggerty of Amped Up Sports, guys. That's going to do it. So, again, this is being recorded Thursday. It's going to be Friday for you guys, and whenever you see this, I appreciate you guys, as always, tuning in. Without you guys, this is not possible. So, like I said, appreciate each and every one of you guys. Make sure you guys go and follow the Frozen Pirate Podcast on Instagram, on TikTok. We're going to have a lot of good stuff coming out. We're going to be doing giveaways for mini helmets, jerseys. Me and DJ UPS got some stuff that we're working on. Also, Tampa Sports Collectors Expo is coming up in September. Stay tuned for that information. We will be there. Tez Johnson's going to be there. We're going to try and get an interview with him. And yeah, smash the like button, guys. Share this episode. Follow us on YouTube, the Frozen Pirate Podcast. And like I said, I appreciate you guys joining us. And stay tuned because, like I said, we got a lot more stuff to talk about this Sunday. Buccaneers Breakdown Podcast on the Frozen Pirate Podcast. Make sure you guys stay tuned for that, 8 p.m. We will be live. So with all that being said, guys, be kind to each other. Love each other. Put God first. Peace.
So say good night to the bad guy. The last time we're gonna see a bad guy like this again for this thing. And fire the cannon, Bucks! Woo!
All right, let me get the fuck out of here.